Out with the old and in with the new. I see.
Yeah, the number 2 is fairly standard. That's what his die set was set at.
Today we're here with Dave Arney from Custom Sign Solutions, and basically Dave is president and CEO of his company, and the two of us put our heads together and came up with a brand new concept for signage which we just unveiled this week. We put a lot of time and thought into the unveiling of a new sign because with Oakville I wanted to have something that was very prestigious and would work well on my high-end properties. And so we've gone with black. It's easy to see. In fact, we even have a platinum reflective tape so it can be picked up at nighttime. So the signs are clean, easy to read, not a lot of garbage on them, and they really speak confidence, and it's a beautiful sign. I've had so many comments already, so I mean it's just one more, taking advantage of one more marketing edge. And obviously, Dave, maybe you could give me your input because
Sure.
You're the one that did most of the behind-the-scenes work.
Yeah, well, from my point of view, this really started with Dan's attitude towards his signing. So Dan really saw this as an investment in his marketing and his branding, whereas others see this as an expense. So with that culture and that climate that Dan set the tone from the beginning, we were able to come together with some ideas that otherwise would have been closed to us if someone had had a mindset of this being an expense rather than an investment. So as Dan had mentioned a little bit, there's some key components to it. It is an oversized sign, so it does give more presence and more visibility to the listing, which I think is key. It's a thicker constructed sign. It's a 10 mil sign, so it's less susceptible to warping. We've all seen some listing signs out there in front of some very nice properties, but the sign's warped, and that's the first thing that the customer sees, and I don't think that gives a great impression for the first impression that someone would get of the listing. As Dan mentioned, the reflective vinyl for the Dan Cooper name, I think, brings to light and leverages Dan's reputation and visibility within the Oakville community. We did also as well bring Dan's name up to the more prominent location on the sign, again to leverage Dan's standing within the real estate community within Oakville. So those were the key things. Some of the smaller details, we did what we call a full bleed, which brought the color right to the very edge of the sign. The majority of the signs that you see out there do not have that. Part and parcel of the screen print process. You'll see a white border along the edges of pretty well all the other signs out there. I strongly believe that the full bleed does provide a much more prestigious and professional look and image to the sign. And again, I think that sets a nice tone for the listing and for the impression that the customer gets as they approach the listing.
Well, Dave, thanks again. I can't be any happier. I think you did a beautiful job.
It was a great team effort, quite frankly, right from the get-go, right from the start. We worked together as a team. We knew what your vision was. You stuck to your vision. You didn't deviate from it, so it made it easy for us to bring the final product together.
Well, we'll certainly refer you, and for everybody who's watching, how do we get a hold of you? What's your website?
We're Custom Sign Solutions located here in Oakville. We are a local company, and we can be found at www.customsignsolutions.ca.